there is not a person out there who has not used a media coach. If that person is dramatically often in front of a camera, that person has been trained.
You know, you bring in so much stuff I write about with perception, and it brings to mind something my brother-in-law used to say to me, because these image consultants and people, they all try to make you be what they think is the perfect thing, and perception is their reality, is their perception. And my brother-in-law used to say, if we all like the same things, we'd all be dating your mother. And I go, what?
Leave your mother out of this. She is such a cutie pie.
He is a cutie pie, but I always thought it was a funny statement. But it's what he's trying to make is the point is
He's right.
right. You know, you can't all be exactly the same. You got to embrace the differences that we have, and and play upon those. But you have, in my training and perception, you have to look and realize that what you think is the perfect thing may not be perfect for someone else. And we talk about this a lot when I talk to Hall of Fame speakers about women versus men in speaking, of how much
that's a big
women are
topic.
criticized for what they wear and over scrutinized if their skirt is one tiny bit above their knee, or if they have big dangly earrings, or if they have whatever it is, right? You don't want to have a certain look without, but then some people embrace that, like, this is my thing. I had Mickey Williams on my show, who's a great speaker, and she's just big hair and wild and fun, and that's her thing, so you have to see what works for you. In general, I agree. When I speak, I wouldn't wear these earrings, and when I speak, I would have a dress to a certain length on my knees, or certain things, or that's my look, and that's what I feel comfortable.
When I speak, I would wear these big dangling earrings. I'll tell you this.
I know, but what makes you comfortable?
I was a corporate spokesperson for a particular product. It was a product, and I went on camera. Now, I have had years of experience on camera. I know the kinds of things that work and the kinds of things that don't work.
Oh, yeah.
Like little patterns bleed into the camera. You don't wear that. You don't wear white because it blanches you out. I mean, certain things.
Right.
But I had certain favorite things, which were diamond or rhinestone earrings that I would wear, and they worked unbelievably. I tried them out, and that's how I knew that they had worked, because I had been on so many different shows.
Yeah.
Well, I did this one thing for a company as the brand spokesperson, and we go into the studio to record this thing, and the woman said, "You can't wear those earrings." This woman was the PR person who didn't have experience on camera. And she said, "You can't wear those earrings." And I said, "I have already worn them and they work wonderfully." And she said, "No, they're going to clash, and they're going to be too sparkly." And I said, "No, they work well. I think I'm going to leave them on." Now, the company was paying me a lot of money to sell their product. So they had chosen me because of my name and because of the trusting image that I had for their buyers. And nobody ever questioned, "Well, what kind of earrings are you going to wear?" And here's this person who didn't know as much as I did about the earrings. And I refused.
Yeah, I think it's good to stand up. I think it just depends on the type of thing you're going to be on. Like, you and I are doing a completely different kind of thing here than if we were on a corporate stage at IBM, or if we're on a fun show on Today's Show, or if you have to consider the format. For me,
well, that's
wear a jacket. I always wear it. So it just depends on if it's a business thing. It's very rare you're going to see me not have a very corporate look. You know what I mean? So I think you have to think of where it is that you're speaking and to whom you're speaking. I would rather be
your homework.
Huh?
That's part of your homework.
Oh, it is. And I think it's better to be too dressy than to be underdressed. And I had a girl come in to speak for us at one of the universities, and she came in with the really short, like, sundressy dress. I mean, really short. And she was a young girl, and that was a cute dress. but it was totally inappropriate because she was speaking to a lot of 60 and up older guys, and you could just feel the tension, like, what's she wearing, so you have to think about what it is you're discussing, who your audience is, what is the appropriate attire for that. But women are overly scrutinized, where men can wear a blazer and jeans and tennis shoes. Nobody's
Oh,
gonna
let
say it.
me ask you this. Who's doing the scrutinizing?
The women.
Other women. So bottom line.
It's not only women, but women are hard on.
Oh,
But the men are going to notice. I had a guy on my show the other day who was a big CEO from one of the biggest, largest insurance companies, and we talked about this. He says it's genetic. Men are going to notice what women wear when they walk in there. You could ask him 5 guys what the guy wore, and he walked in the room. No one's going to say, they're not going to notice. They're looking at the women. So the men are looking at the women, but the women are looking at the women too. The women aren't looking at the men as much as they're looking at the women.
well, this person who told me to remove my earrings, and I stood there and said, no, I'm going to leave them on, came back to me after this big event. She said, I was shocked. Those earrings worked wonderfully on camera.
Well, she probably thought they would reflect, but you don't know. Probably she didn't have your experience of knowing how well they worked. You know what I mean? So
listen, I will defer to people who have more experience than I do in certain arenas.
yeah.
I'm happy to say, okay, look, you must know about this a lot better.
Mhm.
But no, when I think women tend to believe that somebody else probably knows better. And the reality is that if you have that experience and stand your ground, do not get bullied into changing something that has a history of working for you.